But it's insane now. It's insane. It's the wild wild west. Like you hit the nail on the head, and what I'm about to say is because like you were like ride or die with your guys, right?
Hmm.
You went in together, you're finishing together. You're a 4 year team, 3 year if you're. But like now,
6 years.
yeah. But like the traditional is your normal three and you're out or four, whatever. But now it's the dude. You got guys that have zero loyalty. They'll chase the money, and they're on four different teams in 4 years. Like if you ask them at some point, like, oh, where'd you graduate from, or where'd like, oh, I was on like four different teams. I don't really give a shit about
Yeah,
any of them.
yeah.
Like it's kind of
They
taken
got
the
gear from everywhere.
it's like taking the love and the passion kind of out of it. Like, when I played college hockey, it was I'm here for 4 years, and we got new kids, freshmen coming in, but you're with your guys for that time building a program. It's not like that anymore. It sucks.
And on that point, Casey brings up a fascinating point, like the loyalty thing. You're going into your 15th year in the NFL, so you've seen the group of rookies. This will be your 15th iteration of a rookie class, right? Have you seen the type of person and player coming in? Is there any difference from that NIL thing and like how they receive information and or coaching and stuff, or is it just kind of like are us old heads doing the cyclical thing where it's just like it's not the same game as it used to be?
These kids here these days.
These kids are fucking soft.
There probably generally is a difference. Just I would say the money has definitely changed. There's more transfers, guys who played two or three, like you said, Casey. They're still rookies. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but this was like pretty early in my career. I was like year 5 or 6, and I was actually playing in St. Louis, and a rookie receiver during OTAs. I'm like sitting there talking to Reggie Scott. He was our trainer, kind of leaning on a taping table, just talking to him. We're in Rams gear, and this rookie comes in, and he's like, looks around. He's like, "This is where we get our ankles taped." And I was like, "Yeah." He looks at me. You can tell where I'm going with this. He looks at me and says, "Will you tape my ankles?"
No, no.
And I said, "Yeah, bud. Hop on up on this table here."
Oh no!
And I just taped it straight to the skin. And he's like, "What's going on?" And like finally, I was like, "Hey, dude, you better learn who the quarterback is if you want the ball. He's rookie wide receiver." So rookies are still
No.
rookies. I mean, they're still don't know what they don't know. They didn't know what they didn't know then, and yeah, it's just.
That is a fantastic
Hmm.
story.
And you can't blame. I don't think you can blame kids for transferring and trying to make money. Like
Mm-mm.
we probably would have transferred and made money. Like if we could. Like you're
Of
telling me
course,
that if you'd offered me this to go take care of my family, I wouldn't. But
no.
I don't know. They are young kids are still young kids.
Well,
The
you know
fact
what?
that you played along with that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a good
Well, the
time
fact
there.
well the fact that you aged yourself by saying this was like year 3 or 4, and I was with the St. Louis
That's
Rams
right.
also is fascinating, dude. You get into the league in 2012, and what's interesting, I was talking to Casey about this, is like when you hear journeyman, you don't often think to the uninitiated success, but I would deem your career as a wild success case. You've had this
Thanks.
unbelievable career around some unbelievable teams, and life is taking you to fascinating places. I have a two-part question for you. One is, all right, humor me here. Do you think you could go through, if I looked at your Wikipedia page chronologically, from what team to what team to what team to what team, could you get me from 2012 to right now? I have the
Yeah.
list. I have it right
Houston, St. Louis, LA, Minnesota, Denver, Washington, Cleveland, Buffalo, Houston, Chicago.
here.
Oh my God.
I,
Hey, can I tell you how fascinating and quick that was? Dude, that's
impressive.
fantastic. Okay, with all those stops, Case. With all those stops.
It looks like you spent that time thinking about that question, chewing on your pen, and then I just blew that question out of the water there.
You see this, or yeah, I don't want to say.
Mitch was like, he's going to struggle a little bit on this.
No,
I think.
no, no.
I'm gonna get him on
I
this
wasn't
question
expecting.
here.
I was not expecting that. But that being said, you learn so much about yourself every year you play in the NFL. All right. I want you to tell me at what stop. This is also a two-part question, so not fair. At what stops did you learn the most about yourself as a man, and at what stop did you learn the most about yourself as a football player?
Oh man, that's a great question, Mitch. Because I mean, it's everywhere. I would say probably Houston the first time and the second time. Because the first time I was a rookie, undrafted kid who thought this NFL thing was like this, like, you know, I don't know, this unattainable, incredible goal to like, I don't know, just make enough money to provide for my family and play real meaningful games and win playoff games and do these things. And I built this thing up in my head, I guess, over the last year of me playing in college and then the combine. And there's just enough people out there that are experts that tell you you're a little too short, can't throw it far enough. Like, and there's even more now because of social media. There wasn't even social media back then. It was now everybody's got an opinion and wants to have a hot take and have the opposite of, like, oh, this guy's not as good as everybody says he is. Like,
Fucking baseline gremlins.
oh
Basically.
yeah, and it's like so you have enough of those people who are actually smart people are on TV, and they're telling you these things and you're hearing these things and you start to believe a little bit of that. And I get that first year, and it took a really strong developer of a quarterback, Gary Kubiak, Papa Kub.
Shout out
Um,
Cougs, baby.
yeah, and he just spent the time to develop me, man. He put me on the practice squad. I was terrible at the combine, didn't get drafted. He brought me in undrafted, but put me on the practice squad my first year and really taught me what it means to play pro quarterback. And that really helped me a ton, like moving forward. Like I hadn't taken a lot of snaps in under center. I was a shotgun guy in college, spread, throwing it around. So it was a great first year. I mean, it was really, really hard. It was one of the hardest years because I didn't make the team, and I was like, you're just like walking into every meeting, like, should I be getting donuts for everybody here? Like, please, I hope I don't have to tell a joke and like take my shirt off and tell everybody I signed for a steak dinner, when these guys are making $1 million a week. And then the second one part of the question, me is learning as a man. I came back to Houston. This was 3 years ago, and the second year of that deal, I had a season-ending foot injury in training camp and thought my career was over. So, for me, having football taken away from me, which I know you can relate to, being towards the end of your career, that you're like, what do I do now? And like now, obviously, you're thriving here,
Easy.
and
Pump the
but
brakes on
like
it.
for me, I'm like sitting here like, what do I do? I've got my foot's in a cast. I'm getting knee surgery too. Like, am I done with this thing that I've put so much into for my whole life? And really took a deep dive with my wife and got some help kind of talking through like, okay, you can't treat everything like it's football. You can't treat everything like you did, working hard, like, oh, forget about that. Rub some ice on it. You're gonna be okay. Like, no, like let's talk about that, how that actually made you feel and what kind of person you want to be without football. So we could dive a whole lot more into that, but that's the two-part answer to your two-part well thought out question there, Mitch.
The pen I had was chewed to oblivion. Thank you for giving us such a graceful answer.